let's talk about some awesome knitting patterns that were released this past June. Michelle here, and I'm back to share some yarn goodness with y'all today. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about free size inclusive garments, patterns for the home, and accessories. I'm so excited to share these with you all. And of course, these are free patterns, but either you can download them as a free download or they're available on the designer's blog. So either way, you can get these for free. And as always, I will leave a link below to all of the patterns that I talk about today. All right, y'all, let's start with garments. Okay, first up, we have the Greenstone Sweater, designed by Renee Culling for Knitty Magazine. So this pattern calls for fingering weight yarn, and the bust circumference ranges between 34 to 66 inches. And in centimeters, that is 86.5 to 167.5. So in terms of ease, this pattern has 7 inches of positive ease. And in centimeters, that is 18. So the needle size that the pattern calls for, you got two. So you got a US 3, which is a 3.25 millimeter, and you have a US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter. And as I always say, your tension and your gauge is going to be different. So you may need to go up a size or down a size. But today we're just going to talk about the knitting needle sizes that the pattern calls for. Okay, so the skills that you will need to make this sweater includes knit, purl, German short rows, and the 3 needle bind off. So I actually enjoy the German short rows, and I enjoy the 3 needle bind off. So this would make an excellent pattern. Okay, so this pattern is knit from the bottom up, and it features a drop sleeve. And it's kind of like getting 3 patterns in one. I love that. It's amazing how you can get all these patterns in one. And what I mean by that is you get the t-shirt, you get the arm warmers, you get a sweater. It's 3 patterns in one, y'all. That is so awesome. When have you ever got a pattern and there was literally 3 patterns all together? That's so cool. And it's free. I cannot believe this pattern is free. Like, what in the world? Like, that's so cool. So I was really excited when I found this one, and hopefully you can check it out. Okay, so next we have the Pope Drop. I've already messed it up. The Pope Basic Drop Shoulder Sweater, designed by Pope Vergara of Pope Knits. Okay, so this one calls for a DK weight yarn, and the bust circumference ranges between 35 to 70 inches. And in centimeters, that is 89 to 178. So this one has 4 to 6 inches of positive ease, and that is 10 to 15 centimeters. So for this one, you will need 3 knitting needle sizes. You will need a US 5, which is a 3.75 millimeter, a US 6, which is a 4 millimeter, and a US 7, which is a 4.5 millimeter. So some of the skills that you'll need to make this beautiful sweater includes knit, knit 2 together, purl, purl 2 together, picking up stitches, working with the yarn in the front, and working with the yarn in the back. So of course, if these skills are new to you, you can always go to YouTube, find a wonderful tutorial. So definitely you've got something that you can reference to. And it is knit top down in the round, and it starts with a provisional cast on. I love doing a provisional cast on. I think it looks a little daunting at first, but it's actually a really cool technique. And I've used it for a sweater once, and it was really cool, like how you come back and pick up those stitches. It's really, really neat. And I really like the bell sleeves as well. If you'll notice in the picture, it's kind of like there's not much decreasing in the arm, and then there's a rapid decrease right there at the cuffs, and then the cuffs are very narrow, and so that kind of gives it like a bell sleeve. So I think that is a really nice design detail. Okay, so let's jump to our next one. We have the linen stitch striped sweater. Say that 10 times. Designed by Laura Barker for Knitty Magazine. Okay, so this one calls for a DK weight yarn. And it has a bust circumference between 31.75 to 65.5 inches. And in centimeters, that's 80.5 to 166.5. Okay, so this one has 2 inches of positive ease, and that's 5 centimeters. And you will need 2 knitting needles for this one. You will need a US 5, which is a 3.5 millimeter, and a US 6, which is a 4 millimeter. So you will need a few skills in order to make this, and those skills include knit, purl, short rows, knit 2 together, and slip, slip, knit. So there are some decreases in there that you would need to know how to do. So this sweater, it is a top-down circular yoke sweater. I like that. I've made 2 circular yoke knitting projects, and one fit me very well. It was a t-shirt sweater type of deal, and then the other one was a cardigan. And I found that with the cardigan, it had a hard time staying like on my shoulders. So I want to give a cardigan, a circular cardigan, another try. But I know for sure a circular sweater or t-shirt does work well for me. So like that. And also I like that texture of the linen stitch. I think it makes a really nice texture. Let's move on to accessories. All right, first up we have the Archer Scrap Yarn Bag that is designed by Needle Designs. All right, so this one calls for worsted weight yarn. And it comes in 2 sizes. So you have a small and you have a large. Now, the small size is approximately 14 inches or 36 centimeters. And the large size is approximately 19 inches or 48 centimeters. Of course, it is customizable, so your bag might be bigger or smaller, but that's just to give you kind of like a estimate of the size bag that's available. And so you will need 2 knitting needle sizes. You will need a US 8, which is a 5 millimeter, and you will need a US 10, which is a 6 millimeter. And you'll need to know a few things, and those few things include how to knit, make one right, make one left, knit 2 together, slip, slip, knit. That's a lot of decreases. Make one right, make one left, knit 2 together, slip, slip, knit. Yeah, a lot of decreases, but I would imagine it's because, of course, you have the body of the bag, but then you have to decrease out to the sides of the bag so that you can make the handle. So that actually makes a lot of sense. So that's really neat. And it's worked flat with I-cord sides, so that's fun. And I really like that it's kind of like a messenger bag, a fanny pack type of design. So I think that's really, really cool. Okay, let's go to our next one. It is the My First Cable Scarf that is designed by Raspberry Orange Knit. So this one calls for a DK weight yarn. And in terms of the size, the length is 37.75 inches, 96 centimeters, and the width is 3.35 inches, which is 8.5 centimeters. And so you only need 1 knitting needle size for this one, and that's a US 7, which is a 4.5 millimeter. And you will need to know a lot of skills in order to make this scarf. Let's start. Okay, you're gonna need to know how to knit and purl and make one right and make one left and make one right purl, make one left purl, work a selvage edging, knit 2 together, slip, knit, purl, purl 2 together, and slip, purl, purl. Yo, yeah. It seems like you're gonna need to know every knitting technique in the book in order to make this project. But we have YouTube. We have YouTube University. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Okay. And also, y'all know I love tiny scarves. And I really like that cable design. So I feel like this is one of those patterns that on paper it looks difficult, but it's literally called my first cable scarf. So I would think that it would be a little on the easier side. So it's probably not as daunting as all those skills sound. Okay, let's talk about what I'm wearing. So I am wearing the simple yet effective cowl that is designed by Tin Can Knits, and it's a free pattern. And I have a Ravelry page on this. I will link my Ravelry page below. But yeah, it's really nice. It's got some simple knit and purl stitches going along. Hope that you all can see that. And I did dye this yarn myself, so that's nice. It is a 100% superwash merino in a DK weight on my Delirious DK base. And so yeah, I haven't made this color in forever. This is one that I made as a sample years ago. But it's really nice. And especially for a day like this where it's warm outside, but I've got the, the house is cooler. So this is just a little nice something to throw around my neck. But anyway, I'll leave the link below and you all can check it out. Let's move on to things for the home. Okay, this is so exciting. First up, we have the Easy Scallop Washcloth and Hand Towel. So this is a set, and it is designed by Hiromi Glover for Pearl Soho. So this one calls for DK weight yarn, and it comes in 3 sizes. So you've got your washcloth size, and then you've got the small towel and the large towel. So a nice little set there. And this one calls for a US 5, which is a 3.75 millimeter knitting needle. And you'll need to know how to long tail cast on, slip stitches, knit, and knit front and back. So very easy, simple knit stitches. And also it is worked flat in garter stitch, so that's nice. And I love that scallop edging that goes around it. I think it really completes it. And then it has those I-cord handles. So nice. I think this will look great in the kitchen or however you decide to use it in the bathroom. It's just, I think it is wonderful. So it's a really nice design. Okay, the next one I have is the Quilted Fields Dishcloth designed by This Yellow Farmhouse. So this one calls for worsted weight yarn, and the size is an 8x inch square or 20 centimeters, and it calls for a US 7, which is a 4.5 millimeter knitting needle. And basically you only need to know how to knit and purl, so easy peasy, right? Okay, so in terms of the pattern, it is constructed by making small squares of knits and purls. And then the border is made of garter stitches. And basically the garter stitches is so that the washcloth doesn't curl. So it's really simple. And also I love that basket weave design. I think that is really nice. It provides a really, really good texture, especially when you're washing dishes. So yeah, if you're like me, you are the dishwasher. I don't have a dishwashing machine, so I've just got these hands. That's it. All right, so those are all the patterns that I have for you. Let me know if you have knitted any of these patterns. Share with the class. What was your experience? Or let me know if you found some free knitting patterns in June that I haven't known about, or just free patterns in general. Drop them down below. Share with everyone. I would really appreciate that. And also, as you all know, I knit and I crochet. And I have already uploaded a crochet roundup video for the month of June. So definitely go and check that out. Yeah, so let me know what you worked on while watching, or did you just chill? All of that sounds great. Definitely leave me a comment because I love reading you all's comments. Thank you so much for liking this video and clicking the notification bell. And thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you all so much for being here and watching till the end. And also, if you would like to become a member of this channel, you can click the join button below. Oh, and also, I am trying to get to 5,000 followers on Instagram. So if you're not already following me, definitely go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram. It is definitely a goal that I would like to meet this year. So I really appreciate your help with that. All right, I've kept y'all long enough. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, bye.